Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is August the 5th, 2019. It's Candace Craw Goldman. I just had a really interesting night of dreams, and I thought that I would talk about them a little bit today because they were stunningly what's the word I want to say? I'm still affected by them. I woke up several hours ago, but I'm still operating in the energies of these dreams. My dreams, my psychic abilities, like many of yours out there, have been picking up and gathering steam over the summer as we're moving into, and we are now in the Lionsgate energies. Hi, Christian. Hi, Anne. Thanks for joining me. So the thing that's interesting about these dreams, usually I like to think about dreams for a while before talking about them. And I haven't had much of a chance to think about them. I guess what I'm doing is, hi, Jamie. I'm thinking about them out loud because I thought it might assist. Maybe some of this is going on with some of you out there, or it might relate to some of what I'm getting ready to talk about. Need a little coffee to get my mind going here. So one of the things that was interesting to me, the most interesting thing to me about all of these dreams, is how many of them I had. I probably had 5, maybe even 7, 5, 6, 7 dreams over and over and over again all night long. And they all had a similar theme. And when things like that happen in my dream time, they tend to be about the collective, not about, my own personal life. And I also find that for me personally, now this isn't for everybody at all, but for me personally, my dreams tend to give me the clearest information, meaning my emotions don't often interfere with the interpretation of it. Now, while it's going on, right? Maybe afterwards there might be something, but while it's happening, it seems like for me it's pure information coming forth. So this date, August 5th, 2019, for people who are watching this now, at this time in August or in 2019, you know very, very well what's going on in the world. Even if you avoid mainstream news, like I most certainly do, you know what's going on. You know what's going on in America. You know that we've had these shootings again. So I'm sure that is part of it. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that that it's right in the mix of what's going on here, along with the Lionsgate energy. And these dreams all had a similar element, every single one of them. So I'm me in the dreams. Yeah, I have to say that these days. Sometimes I'm not me in my dreams, but I'm absolutely me in my dreams. And I am going to a number of places. I'm going to an auditorium. I'm going to a mall. I'm going to a building with lots of floors. I'm going to a theater. This kind of gathering is going on in every one of these dreams. And I would kind of wake up, turn over, lay back down, continue either on in the same dream or have another dream. It was the same thing over and over and over again. It was people gathering, beings gathering for an event. And there was this kind of energy, we're doing this, we're getting ready for this something. And each thing was a little something. And the amount of people that were moving with me, moving towards, in the places, putting out chairs, standing in line, walking down corridors, going upstairs, all of that kind of thing was stunning. It was absolutely stunning to me how many people were gathering, how many souls, how many beings were coming. They just kept coming and coming and coming. Now, personally, I'm a little, I wouldn't say claustrophobic, but I'm not a big person. You know, I'm barely 5'2". Maybe I've even shrunk a little since I've gotten older. I'm a little person, and in crowds, especially the kind of crowds where bodies are up next to each other, I'm usually, you know, I don't have a head. I feel like I don't have a lot of air. I can't really see what's going on. I'm usually, you know, down there. And I've been in crowds before where that's very uncomfortable for me. And I'm not a city person. Most of you all who follow me already know that. I'm not a city person. I love going to cities, and I absolutely go to cities, and I absolutely go to events, but I'm absolutely very happy to leave all of that in the city and come back here to the farm where there's lots of space. And I don't have to deal with that kind of frenetic energy. I don't sleep well in cities. I can't really, you know, traffic and stuff going on out there. I just, you know, I lay there with my eyes open like that. I really feel the energy of a lot of beings. And that's what all of these dreams were. And I'm headed towards whatever the event. I even wondered, should I say the event? I'm headed to whatever it is in all of these different places. In a very orderly way, very orderly. And I'm kind of surprised because there's so many people. There's a part of me inside that's waiting for people to, I don't know, not really stampede or anything, but I'm watching people and I'm thinking, gosh, there's so many people. There's so much going on here. And I'm feeling this buildup, this, you know, and it's, you know, it really is this. Everything's coming like, everyone's coming like all like to this, whatever, this singular thing. And that gave me the shivers. And while I'm doing this, I'm cognizant of my own personal space. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. Those of you who are showing up. I'm going to say hi real quick. Corey and Karen and Robert, thank you. And hi, Corinna. So I'm very cognizant of my space. And what I found was nobody was bumping up against me. And that's when I really kind of realized that I was in an alternate kind of dream world or reality. I wasn't completely lucid. I can't say that I was completely lucid in my dreams, but I was quite aware that I wasn't in normal reality and then I even tested it. So I'm in this place. This particular one was like a big theater where seating up like this and down towards a stage zone. And there are throngs and throngs of people, including like in the aisle. And I'm walking down this aisle where there's all these seats next to me, and this massive people is in front of me, and this massive people is behind me. And when I realize I'm in a non-ordinary reality, and nobody's even touching me, right? Nobody's jostling me, nothing. I really nobody is touched my space at all. And I'm like, huh. And I decided to test that, right? So I just start, not aggressively, but I'm testing the theory that no one really can touch me here in this space. So I just kind of start walking with purpose towards this big, full aisle of people that are coming up and putting themselves in seats. And they all, like the Red Sea, they just part. Everybody parts. Everybody parts. Now, they're not parting in an annoyed way. They're not really even acknowledging me. They just, they step aside, and I'm just going, and I'm still not touching anyone. And I'm finding that amazing, because I was feeling a little like, like I'm in an ant farm or something, and will I get trapped in here? Well, what's going on? There's a lot of, I don't know what's going on. I don't have a real idea. And in this particular dream, I just take that aisleway and I go all the way down to the stage. And then it gets fun. I look, and off to the side, there's still a lot of people down there, and there's a lot going on behind me, but I've got an up close and personal view of the stage, at the auditorium stage. And I've had so many auditorium dreams over the years, and a number of them with incredible messages from people who've, passed on to the other side. And my own family members, and of course, my beautiful teacher, Dolores Cannon. And sure enough, I see Dolores. And I'm thrilled to see Dolores, because I'm always thrilled to see Dolores. And I turn over and I look at her, and she's actually, which is a very strange scene for me, she's being attended to, and she's actually kind of like being dressed, almost like it's not a wedding, and it's certainly not a wedding dress, but she is much like you might imagine a bride with attendants sort of getting, and she's getting ready, and she's having this beautiful, and the clothing was a beautiful luminescent white, but no wedding thing, but it was, there was some certainly some similarities of what we might think happens in that. And gosh, I really feel her right here, right now. And so they're getting her ready, and I'm looking at her, and I'm enjoying the heck out of this too, because I'm seeing her with her younger face. And when I see her with her younger face, I didn't know her when she was younger. I only knew her when she was in her late 70s and early to mid 80s. I didn't know her when she was, even my age, which is late 50s or younger. But she was even probably younger than what I am right now, maybe in her 40s or so. And I look over at her, and she's just glowing, and she's just beautiful. And she sees me, and she just kind of smiles, and she looks at me, and what is it that she even said? She was saying something along the lines of, it's time. It's time. And she's still kind of getting her stuff together, and she's getting ready to go up on stage. And that's pretty much the end of that one. I mean, I'm just there. I'm in front. I'm watching her. And it's there's something very important about her attendance, right? Some of her attendance, and why. And I think it's because that's kind of like her audience, right? Those of you out there who still love her so much and watch her videos, that's you, right? I really do. She still has a lot of energy coming her way, even though she's on the other side of the veil. Every time one of her videos is played, anytime you send energy, anytime you imagine her, imagine talking with her, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that still going. And this is how and why she remains so relevant in our world today. And even in some ways, kind of gaining popularity. I mean, I don't really know, but I'm not privy to some of the things that might confirm that. But it seems to me like that's true. But that was that one. And there was other dreams. And there was, and I'm not going to chat at you all forever and ever. I've already been chatting for almost 14 minutes. I'm not going to do that today. There's a lot needs to be done today. But I really felt a real drive to get this out. But I wanted to tell you this part, because this part's important too. Again, I had 5, 6, 7 dreams. I don't even know. They were all very, very similar. And there's other vignettes in there. In one of them, Magenta Pixie was in there. I can't wait to tell her that. I think she may have been part of the people near or by getting ready to get on stage, maybe in that dream or a similar separate dream. And no, of course, yeah, I keep her. She's right here anyway. That's funny, over my right shoulder. Who said that? A photo of Dolores. Somebody said that. And yeah, well, and here's the thing. I usually feel Dolores, and I almost always feel her here on my right hand side. She's never on my left hand side. She's on my right hand side. And yeah, there's her photo. I actually designed that bookmark. It used to go into her books many years ago. They no longer use that. Anyway, I want to tell you about this dream because this one's important. It is for me anyway. Okay, and I'm going to have to think about some very neutral ways of thinking about this. So one of the dreams that I was dreaming, I was coming into, and it seemed like kind of a mall shopping complex. I was coming into this mall shopping complex, escalators up, escalators down, big levels, people again, throngs of people, so many people. And for some reason, I knew I was on the opposite side of the complex. I was, back here, and I wanted to come up here, and I needed to get through all of those people. And I wondered about that. I even though, again, people were moving away and I was walking quickly, I still, there were still so many people in this big place. And I thought, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Now think in terms symbolically here. I do a lot of dream interpretation for clients. And of course, it's come from interpreting and practicing on interpreting my own dreams throughout my whole life. So what's happening here is there's this huge complex, and it's very much a public complex. It's very much, shopping mall. So very, the public. This is the public, and it's not even a theater, and it's not a schoolroom situation. It's a very public place with lots of quote unquote just kind of regular, people coming through and doing all of that. And I just want to get to the other side, because whatever is happening is way on the other side. I don't know what's happening, but I need to get to the other side of it at some point. And I'm considering my options, all the different paths that I can take to get on the other side of whatever is going on here. And, think about that. That's a way to interpret dreams, right? There's something giant happening here. There's a lot of people invested, a lot of people involved, a lot of energies. I want eventually to be on the back end of it. The place I want to be is on the other side of this. How do I get there? I'm thinking to myself, and I'm thinking about all the different things. What level, what escalator, what elevator, what path. And then I think this, and I haven't completely got this dream figured out yet, but here's the interesting part of it. I think, you know what? I'm just going to go outside. I'm going to go outside because maybe I could just bypass a lot of this stuff by going outside. So I find myself some exit doors. There's a lot of people coming in, a few people going out, not too many. Most people are coming in, and I'm kind of against the grain again, but everybody's getting out of the way. I'm getting outside these big, regular kind of glass doors to get outside. And I get outside, and it's it's not kind of, it's very much, I find myself in a construction zone. Again, think about the symbology here. There's all of these, if you've ever passed construction on a city street, there's scaffolding, and they kind of have temporary walls up or partitions to get, to make sure that you stay away from things that might, harm you, but to allow the flow while they are improving whatever's going on here. So that's a big clue for me, right? So on the outside of this very public thing is all of this infrastructure, all this stuff that's construction, And I get out, and I see that I can get into these pathways of this construction, and even there's like a chain link fence or something. There's a fence barrier here, and there's another outlying path around even the construction. And there's no impediments there. So the construction's here, the mall and everything's here, and the construction's here. And out here is another hallway pathway. And it seems like, to me, the symbology is like kind of chain link fence, but very tall, but very open and very airy, but a very constructed pathway around this stuff. And I think, well, that's the clearest route of all. And I go to the door, and the door has a sign on it. I can't even remember what the sign is. Something like, and it's kind of of like this, like authorized personnel only or something, right? And whatever the sign said, it was something like, well, you'll know if you're authorized if you test it, right? If you could, basically, it's almost like an Alice in Wonderland thing. If you could open this door, you can go this way or whatever, right? So I test it. Sure enough, it's open. I get out there and I start walking, and I'm walking really quickly. And then this happens. And this is the whole point of this is the surprising part, the really surprising part to me. So I'm out there and I'm walking, and all of a sudden behind me, I can feel it. I can feel it. There's like coming up behind me is this energy. And I look around, and what's happening is that little outline place is filled with soldiers. They're wearing like khaki kind of uniforms. They're all the same. They're all carrying big weapons. They're not pointing, but they all have them, and they're all packed, and they've got like maybe armored vests on or something. They certainly have protection on them. And my reaction is, what? And my first one is, are they going to assault me or be mad that I'm there? I'm certainly not like them. I'm not dressed like them. I'm not one of them. I'm not doing any of that. And I'm suddenly, it's like getting stopped by the cops on the road or something. I'm like, suddenly, what did I do wrong? And I get and they kind of pass me a little bit. I'm going with them, but a few of them pass me because they're faster. And they are on a mission, man. They're not just surveilling. They're not just going from here to there for a small reason. They are on their way somewhere that they need to be. And I got one or two of them right up near me as they're and I'm like, oh no, did I mess up by coming in here? And I had one or two of them look at me directly, and in all of these dreams, I had very few eye-to-eye contact. With Dolores, yes. With Magenta, yes. A couple children things, I think a couple family things. But a couple of these soldiers did look at me as they as they're kind of going past me. And the eye contact was acknowledgement and a kind of a head bow. It was kind of like an acceptance and an acknowledgement. And I don't quite know what that means, right? Because there was no one else in this zone except for me and a bunch of these soldiers. And there was a lot of them, and they just kept coming. There's a lot of different ways one might interpret that. A lot of different ways. Hey, Shane. Hi, Scylla. Hi, Amber. Hi, Jody. So I'm not going to keep you all too much longer. Yeah, Amber says Dolores and Magenta Pixie in the dream. I had a series of dreams. There was maybe 5, maybe even 7 dreams, and they were so huge. They meant I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get away from these dreams today. They were so impactful to me. And I really felt like it was all about gathering of energies, movement of people, movement of events. Discernment is everything now, everyone. It is just everything. Things aren't always what they seem. Some of my big takeaways were, the scariest part for me was finding myself surrounded by all these guns and soldiers and everything. And no problem. As a matter of fact, it was a protective, supportive energy. Who are they? What are they representing? I'm not going to say even right now. There's different ways one can look about that. Look at all these structures, the big mall. I think that's, possibly physicality, 3D earth kind of things. The two outside structures, the construction of the new earth, maybe. I don't know. What is going on that outside thing? What's going on the inside? All I know is wherever I went, I was fine. And every time I tested myself about being fine, I was granted the gift of being even more fine. And I think some of that has to do with create what you want to see. Imagine, pay attention, have discernment, but also in your heart. I am always somebody who instantly at first looks at whatever's coming up, and instead of with skepticism, very openly, and I try to imagine what's coming at me is authentic. That's kind of my number one thing, because that's how I like to see people, and that's how I like to see my world. But that doesn't mean if in the next half a second something doesn't feel right, I don't go, yeah, that's not quite what it seems, is it? Okay, not quite what it seems. And that's where discernment comes in. So for me, that's the way it works, is I look for the positive. I look for the good. I look for the benefit, no matter what. And then I use my discernment immediately thereafter and kind of see where that takes me. Well, anyway, I love it. I love my friends. Thank you so much for coming on to listen to me. If y'all have had any dreams like this, I'd sure like to hear about it. I know there's a lot going on in the news, and there's a lot of fear, but for me, I'm just being observant, and I'm knowing not to wear the fear like a cloak, right? At all. Just kind of watch what's going on. Things aren't always what they seem, and more people are waking up, and I'm feeling good about stuff. As crummy as some of the last couple days have been, and unimaginable tragedies for so many people, and my heart goes out to them. There's a lot that's going to be sifted through, I think, with this Lionsgate. And I'm really interested in seeing what the actual day brings, and as we come out of it, the August energies, which are always so incredibly powerful for everyone. I think for me as a Leo, for sure, a lot of things going on with the lion beings. I'm headed towards half an hour here. For those of you who don't know, I lost a beautiful cat just a couple days ago, and some of that had to do with these feline energies and his mission, my mission with him, and some of the, David Manning calls them the lion-headed beings. The Pamela, other cosmic connected people call them, Lyrans, and some of these beings who helped construct life here on the planet Earth, and some of the possibilities that are in front of us after today, even during today. Shane, I love you so much. Hi, Ann, and hi, Michelle. Way more backdrop people around for sure. Michelle, I've been thinking about that, and I wondered some of that too when I looked in some of my dreams, particularly some of the mall dreams. There were throngs of very, let's call them like kind of, if you go anywhere, people have a lot of different, colors of clothes on, right? And different sort of things. And there was a lot of kind of very gray groups of people that actually wasn't even really going to say it, but thinking about it, possibly, groups, gatherings, sections of backdrop people. So definitely something to think about. Hey, Kenny, today's your 8-year anniversary. Well, happy anniversary. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay. Well, more things need to be done today than just this video, but for those of you who joined me live this morning, thank you. Keep heart, keep the highest vibration you can, keep loving your hearts. Use your discernment, be practical, but be loving above all. I love you all so much. Let me know if you're having any kind of dreams like this. I want to do more of this dream stuff. This last week, I knew everything that was going on with my cat and why, and I've had some other prophetic dreams, some health things in my very own family that I'm really watching. My psychic, it's like my third eye has gotten a shining this summer. There's a lot going on, and I'm sure it's not just me, and it's everybody. And by the way, for those of you who are who've been contacting me about sessions, I'm about ready to open up my appointment book again. I'm not going to even book any sessions till next month. And I took myself to August, and then I just cut it all off. I said, I did this way back last spring. I said, I'm not booking any more sessions. I'm not taking any more clients. I just stopped it. And I've been doing sessions, of course, all summer, but I didn't even book ahead. I'm starting that up again here really, really soon. First of September, actually. So, and those tend to go quickly. So for those of you who might be interested in that, if you're catching this video, but I'm not the only one who does this work. There's so many of my friends, even on this chat, and I hope the dang live chat follows this one this time. I didn't seem to make that work last time. So many excellent quantum healers out there. Shane, I was listening to the newest BQH session you put up just a couple days ago, and I've only gotten like 15 minutes in, but I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of that. Priscilla, so many of my great friends, Corinna and others out there do this work. It's not just me. They're available and very willing to help you, but I will open up my own books for appointments here pretty quick, 1st of September. So wanted to let you know that. All right, well, I think I'm gonna let you go for today. With Eileen. Yes, Shane says with Eileen. Thanks for letting us know that. All right. Yeah, Shane is excellent. Shane Robinson, unbiased and on the fence. Check him out. If you don't subscribe to his channel, go do that right now. You'll be glad that you did. All right, I'm gonna click off now. Love you all. Thank you, really. Thank you so much for being here with me this morning. Happy dreaming.